All right, guys, you voted. It's time for episode number 1 of this vlog for my 2019 Empire Classic Prep. You ready? So like I said, welcome to episode number 1. This is gonna be very raw with the beard and everything. I'm gonna go through exactly what my nutrition is, what I'm doing for training, document it all. And right now I'm gonna start out with my very first check-in. It's Tuesday. We're about a little under 23 weeks out. So let's get to it. Okay, so for here, if you can read it, 183.4. Okay, so we just did check-ins. Now I want to show you guys about my nutrition. I'm just about to eat meal 1. It's about 8 a.m. And I'm actually going to do something totally different with my training style that I've never done before, which is actually do 2 sessions a day and breaking up the volume and see if I can train harder at both sessions, just because I'll have, more carbohydrates pre and post on the first one, pre and post on the second one. And I'm limiting my time to not doing like an hour and a half, 2 hours at the gym. Instead of I'm splitting up into 2-hour sessions. So let's dive into my nutrition. Look at that. Okay, AP Performance platform. I have my own app, and this is where I design all of the nutrition for all of my clients, as well as obviously myself. So example plan, phase 2, 23 weeks out. My macros, I'm trying to hit 268. 285 and 60. And then the food groups, like my meal number 1 I'm having right now is some chicken breast, some jasmine rice, cucumber. Very simple, but it's going to digest easily for me because I'm about to train about 2 hours or so, 1.5 hours. So meal for my intro, for my session 1, I'm going to have actually 8 ounces of grape juice for some more sugar. And I'm going to stack that with some essential amino acids, about 10 grams. Post-workout for meal 2 or session 1 post-workout, I'm gonna have 1.5 scoops of whey isolate, very clean protein with obviously just some Rice Krispie cereal to get in the carbohydrates, very low fat, higher in carb, higher in protein. Meal 3, I'm gonna have, I love using red meat, especially when I'm in a growing phase right now for the next 4 to 5 weeks. And I'm just going to put in some broccoli, get in my greens. But this meal in the middle of the day is going to be kind of like my low-carb meal because I'm training in the morning and then the evening. So my pre-workout for session number 2, I'm going to have another 1.5 scoops of whey protein. I'm going to have 0.75 cups dry of oats. And I like to use the Magic Bullet and to grind it all up. So it easily is assimilated. It's already pretty much broken down, so it's easier for me to absorb. So nothing's really sitting in my stomach going into that workout. So again, for number 2, I'm gonna have another 8 ounces of grape juice. And then post-workout for session 2, I'm gonna have just some more chicken, some more jasmine rice, some more cucumbers, but I'm also gonna stack in there some sweet potato. Last meal, I'm actually gonna have 6 whole eggs, some spinach, and some fish oil. So I have 6 meals, and that's why there's not a lot of content in these meals, because I want to make sure I haven't switched to 6 meals in a long time. I've usually only eaten 4 or 5, but with these different training sessions, I want to split it up so I can digest a little better, not going to my workouts feeling like I'm full, obviously, so I can train hard. The blood is not in my gut, instead of it's able to go to the extremities and to train hard. So yeah, and this is gonna be my next low carb meal because it's a little more away from training, and I love using eggs before bed just so you get a little bit of fat in there with your protein, extend that release of digestion amino acids. So yeah, so we're about hitting those macros with those foods and meals, and that's about it. All right, so we're off to the gym. I go to a couple different gyms down here in Scottsdale, Arizona. Some close ones that I like is Metroflex, which I'm going to right now, meet my boy Brandon for our first session of the day. And then I also go to Independence Gym. It's a little more south from here in Scottsdale, more towards Old Town. But those are the two gyms I really like. The Metroflex lighting is amazing. And then the people at Independence are amazing because there's a lot of actually fitness influencers you guys follow, like Mike Rashid, people like that. So I like to go and network down there. But my training split is going to be totally different than I've ever done before. Excuse me, I'm going to be driving, so I'm looking all over the place. Don't vlog and drive, but that's what I'm doing right now. But anyways, my training split, I'm actually going to start splitting up 2 sessions a day in a little bit of shorter periods and increasing my frequency throughout the week to hit each body part at least twice and have more of a strength session and then more of a hypertrophy session throughout the week for each body part. My lagging parts right now are hamstrings. My back seems to always be really good. My chest and shoulders I can always work on. That used to be my weakest body part. I look like a flicking flat board on my chest. But yeah, so hamstrings, I'm still debating, and I need your guys' help because I'm debating on doing classic physique or just sticking with my men's physique, which I know really well and kind of more specialized in. But I would really love to do classic because I've always wanted to do something with legs. It's just during the time when I competed previously, I tore my ACL. So I actually did all those preps you guys saw with a torn ACL. I couldn't lift legs, but I could do cardio. So yeah. But anyways, I'll show you some footage at the gym with my boy Brandon. Today, heavy chest for session 1. And then after I get back home, I'm going to be documenting and showing you guys my training split for the whole entire week. So I'll see you soon. Okay, we just got the Metroflex, but before we walk in, I want to go through a couple things that I've been experimenting with. And as you guys know, I'm a huge into science, math, all that kind of stuff. I was actually originally a mechanical engineer student for 3 years. I have my associates in engineering prior to switching to exercise science and kind of fulfilling my passions and stuff like that. But I'm still very data driven and I do a lot of experiments, like you guys know. And so I was thinking very hard, and if I really want to show you guys this, about this new experiment that I'm doing. But obviously I'm drinking a Bang. I showed you guys pre-workout, has 300 milligrams of caffeine, which is kind of a lot. But I'm kind of testing that higher end for me, what works. But also what I've been doing is stacking that, and this is going to be like really weird, but stacking it with some form of nicotine with caffeine because of the similar like effects, but also in conjunction. I've been having great workouts. I mean, amazing. And so what I actually did is, this is the tool part, but I actually picked up one of these Juuls, and you don't have to pick up a Juul and smoke it or whatever. You can actually use nicotine gum or whatever. I probably don't suggest that the majority of you watching this do this. This is just an science experiment I'm doing on my own body of the effects in unison with caffeine, maybe for future things. But this has about, I think it's like what, 50 milligrams of nicotine or per capsule or serving or whatever. I'm not really sure. I got to do the research again, but 50 milligrams of nicotine in the liquid, and that's a lot. If you do this, if you take a Juul and you smoke it, I only do it like really pre-workout. It's gonna mess you up the first time you take it. I mean, it's pretty strong. So what I would suggest is maybe like my boy Austin Stout said, is getting some, I think it's like Nicorette is the brand, but getting some nicotine gum, splitting it into like quarter tabs. I mean, like very small amounts will do a lot for you. Otherwise, if you use a lot at one time, the very first time, you might feel very nauseous. You're gonna feel lightheaded. But the effects of combining nicotine and caffeine together have been really crazy, honestly. And for working out purposes, it's been amazing. But I just want to show you guys that because, as you guys know, I'm like completely transparent with everything that I'm doing, so I can show you my journey along the way and what I'm experimenting with. I want to give a shout out to Mr. Eric Carnes, and if any of your students are watching right now, it's gonna be pretty funny. But he's kind of my teacher in high school that kind of got me into science and learning about experimenting
holding, variables controlled, or holding a control group and variables and testing this and that and learning a lot, actually. But he also did another thing for me, and I didn't really realize until now how much of a savage he was. But in that class, there were some cute girls back in the day in that class, and a lot of them didn't understand what the hell was going on with chemistry. That's what I was in, Chem 101. And and so it came to me very easily. And so what I was able to do is he pretty much let me teach a lot of the class, like half the class, maybe a quarter to half the class of what was going on with stoichiometry, all this BS and chemistry. But what that allowed me to do is a couple things. Is one, talk to some hot girls, but two, learn how to communicate the information to other people with the science experiment, kind of like what I'm doing with you guys. So anyways, shout out to Mr. Eric Carnes. I hope he's doing well. But anyways, we're gonna get in here, hit some chest heavy day, and we just finished up the bang, take some of this, and now I'm ready to go. All right, so we just got here to Metro Flex Gym. I'm here with my boy Brandon. Give you a little a view of all the gym. It's old school, blast some music. It's where I love to train because it brings back like the old school atmosphere. We got like Arnold on the wall. I mean, this is the real shit. People are screaming. People got their shirts off. We got Dante that's posing over here. Let me show you guys this.
This is what you want to do. This is your goals. What are your goals in life?
So anyways, we're about to hit some heavy chest. Like I said, we're going to load up the bench press and go at it. Talk to you guys soon. Alright guys, I've just been doing some client emails now, got home from the gym, ate my post-workout, been kind of going through all of the apparel, old style stuff, gonna start updating some new stuff. If you're interested, hit me up. Got some cool designs coming out, but I wanna show you guys exactly what I'll be doing for my training with these double days. I'm gonna dive into the app now. We'll be doing, I don't know the total time frame. I'm gonna kind of go by feel on how I respond. This is week number 1 with this huge amount of volume, and I want to be able to recover, get the most out of my gains being in a caloric surplus. But let me just run you through what's going to be happening here. So day 1, session 1, hamstrings is my weakest body part. I put that first after a good recovery. So I'm going to hit it hard, hit it heavy. Okay, day 1, session 2 in the evening, I'm going to do a back hypertrophy. Day 2, session 1, chest heavy, beginning part of the week because I got, more rest from the weekend. And so I want to hit chest heavy because that's also maybe potentially my second place lagging part. And then I'm going to go right back to hamstrings and put as much blood as possible, which I'll be training this evening actually for hypertrophy, a higher rep range. Then day 3, session 1, back heavy. Day 3, session 2, chest hype. Right there, I'm going to go right back from the day before. I'm going to start pushing a bunch of blood inside of it. Day 4, session 1, quads, glutes heavy. So some squats, probably some like sumo deadlift stuff. Day 4, session 2, bicep, tricep hypertrophy. I might put a little added volume on other days rather than just this day because I do want to focus on isolating just my biceps and triceps on one single day. I like the feel of that. Obviously, it's a little bit of a bro science deal, but I think that if I can go heavier, I've never really done any sort of bicep and tricep heavy days, which has a lower rep range. Day 5, session 1, shoulder heavy, and then day 5, session 2, quad glute hypertrophy. So that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing, and I'll probably take like either Wednesday or Thursday off, and then I'll adjust which day necessary. It kind of depends on recovery and how I'm feeling after these heavy days, because you want to make sure that you're in the gym
not like just destroying yourself and not recovering, because there's no point of going back to destroy yourself even more. So anyways, I'll keep you updated. I'm about to actually head to the gym right now.
All right, so we're going for round number 2 to the gym, training at like 10 a.m. and like 6 p.m. And some of you guys are like, why in the hell are you doing 2-a-days? Well, the reason why I'm doing that is because this prep, I literally want to do everything in my power to do everything as perfect as possible to bring my absolute best, whether I win or don't win or place top 5 or whatever. It don't matter to me, but everything I've learned, because you got to understand, when I first got into bodybuilding stuff, men's physique, classic, all that stuff, and coaching, or prior to coaching, when I competed, I didn't know anything. I had a really good coach. He knew what he was doing. I just followed the plan, and that's what developed into me, transitioning into being a coach, learning more, going to school, and then now coaching, hundreds of people on their fitness goals, and then, having competitors placing multiple top 5, multiple first place, and then overall champs. And now with my flexible schedule, with stabilizing my business, with all of the different running or the moving parts, and going it that way, I feel like I want to dedicate my time to myself again for reaching the best optimal results possible, to show myself of, going through the process, everything I learned over the last 3 to 4 years, and implementing it as best I can, and honestly trying something I've never really done in the past to do that, to really raise the bar. And so that's why we're doing these double days and splitting these body parts, have a little higher frequency, shorter total training time at the gym, but the intensity hopefully is higher during those training times, to stimulate as much growth as I can right now, especially in the off season, or this gaining phase is what I call it. It probably will not be like this going into prep. I'm on the weight loss phase. Potentially, maybe we'll see. But with my body type being more of an ecto, meso, I don't want to lose any muscle mass and stuff like that. So I'll be very cautious about carbohydrate intake, and not losing any, not a rapid rate of fat loss when I'm prepping, is because I want to maintain everything I just gained, right? But right now I got like 2 scoops of amino energy, I think it is, because I just get some amino acids in me, but also the caffeine. I'm trying to not go skyrocket on this caffeine intake over the next, however many weeks I'm going to do this training split. So let's get a total from, this morning the bang was 300 milligrams. This is about 200 milligrams. So it's a total today for 500 milligrams, which it is a decent amount. That's kind of a lot. But everybody's body is different, obviously. And I'd say that you will start finding what works for you and fine tune it. Something that you can take on a day-to-day basis, but not like, totally run yourself out and feel like shit, like, taxing out all your receptors and stuff like that, so the caffeine doesn't even work anymore. I supplement with adaptogens, which I'll show you guys after my training session when I get home, have my post-workout meal. I'll show you what I'm doing for supplements. But I actually want to try and lower that caffeine intake down to about 300 milligrams or less a day going into my dieting phase of like weight loss. The reason being is so then I can, give myself a little bit of a break, but also during prep, usually when your carbs start going down, your cardio goes up a little bit, training volume goes up, your stimulant usage will go up to kind of compensate your energy levels. So you want to do everything in progression as slow as you can and not play all your aces all at once. Or like, for example, start prep at 0 carbs and 2 hours of cardio and 1,000 milligrams of caffeine. Like, that just sounds stupid. So I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to be doing for this second training session. We're going to hit some hamstrings primarily from a hypertrophy range, and then some calves as well. And I will show you guys there soon. All right, guys, so we just finished up at the gym a little earlier, had a post-workout meal. Now it's about 10:30 at night, having my last meal. I've just been doing a shit ton of client emails, plans, video editing, hiring a whole new team for my company. It's been a lot going on. I'm very, very blessed, thankful, looking forward to the new opportunity. Let me show you. So for the last meal, I have 6 whole eggs and then a cup of spinach. I usually just gauge of how hungry I am on this last meal, and I'll add in some onions or something like that. I'm not really that hungry because I've been eating so much in this calorie surplus. So I brought down the veggies a tiny bit, but not like obviously so much where I'm not getting my micros. But anyways, that kind of wraps it up for this vlog. Yes, I'm sitting here literally in my underwear talking to you guys on my phone. But you know what? Screw it. I don't care. It's been a hectic day. It's been a crazy week. A lot to come. I'm very excited. I'm thankful for you guys to be along the journey with me. 23 weeks out. I'm going to show you every single step of the way. Hopefully, at the very end, we come with the package that I envision instead of doing this whole vlog and not not putting together everything properly. But I have faith in believing in the process, what I've learned, going through the steps and showing you guys everything. So I'm super thankful to have you guys going along the way with me, keeping me accountable as well by doing these videos. It's super helpful because me trying to do all this on myself, prepping myself, it takes another mentality and a beast to get through it all, especially towards the end when you're lean, you don't want to do certain things. At the end of the day, a great mentor of mine, a great coach, friend, Cliff Wilson, he literally is doing a show this weekend and next weekend, and he's still happy every time I talk to him on the phone. And his words is, you get to choose to do this. So everybody that's complaining don't do it if you're not wanting to do it. And yeah, you're going to go through some mood swings and you're going to be tired. But every time I've talked to him, he's been happy. I don't know how, but he likes to show up on stage, and he has, generated over 100 pros now, turning pro, and sent people to worlds, done very well there. And the end of the day, this thing was, he told me is, Austin, I wanna be able to reach that highest level and not only beat other people, but do it with a smile on my face like I made it look easy. And that really hit me home, and that's exactly what I want to do, because at the end of the day, the number one thing you need to focus on is the mentality, and you have ultimate control over the outcome with your mindset and hard work putting into it, right? Obviously, the sport is a little bit subjective with the judging panel and stuff like that, but that's not the point of this. The point is to bring my best and to kind of uncover what I've been building the last 2 to 3 years, because I haven't competed, had some health issues, which I'll go into another video. At the end of the day, I'm super pumped because honestly, I've never been so excited to diet in my life because I actually get to, because I'm healthy now, I get to pursue and actually use what I've learned to accomplish my goals. So anyways, guys, thank you for following this first episode. I'm going to be putting up more as the weeks go by. Every single week will be a video. I'll be showing you guys the new training, new nutrition, any adjustments as necessary, and we'll go from there. So anyways, thanks, guys. I'll talk to you soon.